Hi everybody, it's Patrick, and I'm here just to walk you through this video of about 10 minutes to talk about how to use the Discussions application here in Canvas. Before I get started though, I want to spend a couple of minutes talking about some things that people found helpful while I was giving this presentation on Friday. And the first thing has to do, of course, with the basic functionings of Canvas. Uh, you may see over here on the left-hand side we have all the things that kids can see and kids cannot see. If it has a little eye with a slash through it, they can't see it. And if it doesn't, then they can. So in this sense, kids can see this. Now, how do I know kids can see this? Well, the first thing that was eye-opening for some people is that this is the teacher view that we're looking at here. But whatever you do, it's always important to make sure to look at it from the student view so you can get the student perspective. This is what students see when they click on Canvas. The way to do that is to simply go over here and scroll right down to Student View. If you click on it, it will then quickly take you, and then you can see exactly what students see. Okay? So from the students, this is what they see. You'll notice they only see the things that I had on for them. And this is also important from a student perspective because if they go to the class page, they'll be over right here, they'll see to do, everything that they need to do with the due dates, the titles, etc. Now notice, from a student perspective, example one is pretty generic and doesn't tell them a lot of things, right? I'm not telling you that you should make every assignment that you have the ultra specific thing dedicated to your class. I don't have any problem if you keep it generic. But this will lead into the second thing that I'm going to talk about that has to do with how kids access assignments for your class. I'm a big advocate of going two ways. And the first way is to go directly to your class page because everything they have to do is listed here. And by the way, although I don't have it set up right now for this, and I probably should have, and maybe I'll redo this and again so that it does, underneath what's the to do, it'll say recent feedback. So every assignment that you've graded will have the grade. And if you wrote comments, it'll be there. Everything a kid needs for your class is listed here on the right if they go to the actual class page. Another place I highly recommend that they go to, of course, is the calendar, which they can access here on the left-hand side, or, pardon me one sec, as I leave student view, they can access it also, pardon me, from our side, from the teacher side, in the view calendar. Okay, if you click on view calendar, it generally shows up in a couple of ways. The month way, which I don't advocate kids look at because this is just my class, these things in brown. So if a kid has 5 or 6 classes, they'll have that listed here in 5 or 6, I don't have it. There we go. With every class. If you, just as an aside that has nothing to do with this video, but I'm going to say it anyway because I can. If you one day say, hey, student X, show me the calendar view, you'll see that most kids, their entire month looks like this. It's filled with stuff, except it's multiple colors because it's all the classes they have. This can be really overwhelming for a lot of kids, which is one of the reasons why they don't go there. So I recommend instead clicking up here on agenda because it breaks it down day by day what they have. And that's a little bit more manageable. This can be overwhelming. This we can get kids through. Okay, so that's the first sidebar. Sorry about that. The second thing I would point out, so that was helpful for people. A, looking at student view. Here it is. Just click on it, and you can see exactly how the kids have it. The second thing that's important is to notice that I have my class, and I think in an online environment it's really helpful. I have it organized as modules. If I click on modules, it looks exactly the same. Okay, I've made my home page modules. Okay, it just looks the same. And so what that means, of course, is that every module is a self-contained unit. Everything I need is there, and everything we do in class is there. In this particular class, we're already down here to Unit 7, and then everything works in the old school 1970s, 1980s outline way. minus the A's, the ones, the little I's, right? We start with this, we go to this, we go to this, we go to this. New topic, start with this. New topic, start with this, go to this. That's really helpful, I think, because that way kids know, wherever we were, just pick up at the next spot. Again, it's predicated on them going to the actual class page to do it. Now, why wouldn't they do that? Or why don't they do that in some cases? Well, part of the reason for that is because this. Let's go back. I'm now on the teacher view, and here's everything. Some of you may or may not even have discussions up on the left-hand side of the navigation bar for the students. The way you can fix that is to simply go to Settings, and when you click on Settings, go to Navigation. Lots of times it defaults. If it's the first time you do this, you may be in Course Details, but don't freak out. Just click over to Navigation, and here you have everything that kids can see from their view. Down here is everything, as it says, that's hidden from them. You will notice, of course, if you want to move it or change something, just grab it and drag it. Grab it right here, click your mouse or whatever, and move it where you want to go. You'll notice that for me, I get rid of assignments. The reason I get rid of assignments is because if it's up here, kids just click on assignments. And while that worked great back in the day when we used Whipple Hill, or what we call MyHighs nowadays, Canvas doesn't have the most robust assignments page. It's just a list of assignments for every single class that kids have, with due dates that are in small font and general descriptors like I showed you earlier, example 1, and they don't know what class that's for. So I just eliminate it, right? Because if you want to break somebody of a bad habit, one of the things you do is you take away the input. So I took it away. Now, if they want to know what they have for class, they have to go to the class page or click the calendar, right? It's like forced choice, the illusion of choice. And I'm a master of that. That's what happens when you have 4 children, be that as it may. That's what you do. Just make sure you click Save no matter what you do. Click Save, okay? Otherwise, obviously it won't. All right, let's get to the topic at hand. Discussions, right? That's what we're here to talk about. What I just talked about again, student view, getting rid of assignments from the navigation bar and how to do it, are important, but the focus is on discussions. So let's take a look at it. You click on discussions, and this is what you end up seeing, okay? Now, the nice thing about discussions is that it allows you to do an asynchronous conversation. Asynchronous meaning we don't have to be there to make it happen. You list it, kids answer it when they have time. You can look at it when you want, and life moves on, okay? We have a couple of examples here that I've used, and I'll just show you a couple here. All right, there's 2 things I want to talk about. First is how do you actually do it? And the second is when would I use it? So let's talk about first, how do I do it? Well, that's pretty straightforward. You just click Add Discussion right here. But allow me to show you some examples first that I've already done. So this one's called Prove Understanding Number 1, which is a lame title, but whatever. So what I did is I recorded myself asking a question. This is for an AP literature course. Down here is basically what I'm saying in Spanish so that you all understand. But the point is, I could have typed this in English, I could have typed it in Spanish, but I decided to say it in Spanish, so here's it is.
Hola clase y buenos días. La pregunta para hoy es lo siguiente. Explícame, por favor, ¿cuál poeta tenía razón en su punto de vista del papel de las mujeres? ¿Garcilaso de la Vega o Luis de Góngora?
So there it is, which basically just asked this question: which poet had a more favorable view of women? Here's poem 1, which we already had read, but this is just for their reference. Here's poem 2, which they had already read, and that's just for their reference. And then all they have to do is hit reply and give their answer. So here's an example. Test student, which is me, neither has a favorable view of women, at least from a modern perspective. Okay, here's another student who did it. As you know, Grace Rowell. She decided to record her voice. Here's her answer.
Garcilaso de la Vega has a much more positive view of women because the Renaissance period had a more positive outlook in general,
etc. So that's how that works. Now, the nice thing about this, of course, is if we go to edit, I'll show you how these things can be done. First, if I scroll down, you'll notice I allow threaded replies, which means we can see everything people write. Here's the most important box. Users must post before seeing replies. If you're in an English class or a history class and there's only one answer to your question, then you want to click this so that people can't piggyback off of what others say. And of course, I also click on Add a Student to Do and put the date in, because that's what makes it populate over here, if you'll remember, on the Students to Do side when they go to the class page. Now, how do I make this happen? Well, you can obviously type your response in this way. If you want to record it, you can do a link to someplace else. You can put in a picture if you want to. You can search a YouTube video, just type in what you're looking for. Here, I'm looking for the running of the bulls, for example. And there's a whole bunch of videos that it finds, and I've looked at them, and I decide to embed it. I always go medium. I don't know why, I just do. And it automatically embeds the video in there if you want. Okay? If you want to record it, like I did here, you click this button here, Record Upload Media. Right? And the nice thing about, oh, look, there I am. The nice thing about Canvas is it's all integrated. If you don't want to do the webcam, just click webcam and no video. You could just go to the mic, right? You check to make sure it's working, and then you go, it counts down for you. Hi, how you doing? Play it just to check.
Hi, how you doing?
And save it. Okay? It automatically uploads, and there it is. And that's the piece that I did so that you can hear from them. So those are 3 of the ways to do the dynamic pieces: links, pictures, YouTube videos, or your own recordings, either video or audio. Students can do the exact same thing in their responses, which is what Grace did in her response. Obviously, you click Save once you've done it all. Okay? So, that's the key piece. Again, to show you, click Discussion, add some random title, right? Notice my good typing right there. Put it in how you want. I can embed media. Lots of times if you already have something from YouTube, you can embed it that way. I'm going to insert a picture, right? Right? From Canvas that I already have, right? If you have it on your desktop, that's not the best way to go. If you have it on your desktop, just so you know, like you stole it from Google Images or something, click on Images, do Upload a New Image, right? And then choose File, and whatever images you have off of your, here's a picture, a random picture I have, and just do it that way. Click Decorative Image the first time. I don't know why it does that, but it just does. And then upload it. And it should upload. Of course it didn't in this particular, oh, there it is. There we go. So there's some random picture that I had, and you can put it up that way. Again, I usually allow that so everyone can see, but everyone must say something before they can see. If you want to grade it, you can. I don't recommend it, but you can do that. And then add it to the student to-do list with the date that it's due. Let's make it due tonight. Save and publish, and you're good to go. Okay, that's really all there is to it. Feel free to shoot me a text or an email if you have any questions, and I hope you found it helpful. Take care.